Hello and welcome to yet another session of Revit MEP by BIM Technologies. So in this session we are going to learn about how to add different type of sprinklers for creating a fire suppression system. So not only that, we will be also learning about creating different types of systems like the wet and the dry and other types of systems that can be created in Revit MEP. But before we go and see how we can add sprinklers, first of all, see what are the systems which are available, what are the system classifications which are available in Revit MEP for fire. To do so, we need to go to the project browser, and here in the project browser we have this families folder, and within this folder we have the pipes option, and under the pipe systems we see that there are different kind of systems that we have for fire. So the type of systems that we have for fire is the fire protection dry, fire protection other, fire protection pre-action, and the fire protection wet. Now let's go with the wet fire protection system and see what is basically there. So under the wet fire protection system, the system family, we have these kind of rise and drop. These are the symbols that we have, and the system classification is wet, so we can change it to performance. And similarly for the other, we can see that the system classification is again other, and for the fire protection dry we have the system classification as dry. So we can also go to the piping settings over here. Under the systems we have this mechanical settings. We can click here and see under the pipe. So under the pipe settings in the conversion or segment and size, so we have this option for segments and sizes as well as the conversions. We can see that the system classifications that we have for the conversion is wet, dry, pre-action, and other. So let's go and see that what are the type of sprinklers that we can add. First of all, see how we can create the view for the fire protection system. So we are in a mechanical template, and we have a wall and a ceiling over here. So in order to create the fire protection system, so what we do is, first of all, we need to look into it to the create a sub-discipline. So here we have, under the discipline we have mechanical, but under the sub-discipline we do not have something called fire. So what we can do is, we can say fire, we can create a sub-discipline as fire wet. So here what we can do is see that there is this particular 0 plan has come under the fire wet. So what I can do is, I can duplicate this view and name it as fire protection plan. So we can rename it as 0 fire wet. So I can take this subdiscipline, the 0 mech, and I can put it back to HVAC. So I have a wet floor plan for 0, and similarly I can create a ceiling plan, duplicate it, and I can create a ceiling for ceiling fire wet. So by doing so, what I do is, I create a subdiscipline and a view. So I'm going to the subdiscipline of the ceiling plan. I'm going to change it to the fire wet. So also you need to look into it, that if there is any view templates. So you have this floor plan and the ceiling plan for fire wet. So select this for the ceiling plan here, and here we have. So I'm in the ceiling plan of the ceiling fire wet, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to close all the inactive views. So here I want to add some sprinklers and see what are the sprinklers which is available. So go to the insert and load families. So I have a folder called fire protection. Let's see what are the go back So go to the F fire protection folder. So I have the sprinklers. So what are the families that I have? I have got cabinets. So cabinets for the fire, I can take the horse rack cabinets, so we can see how they can be put open, and I will be also having folder and the families inside the folder as the sprinklers. So let's take that part, and then we have the valves. We can have the dry valve, the deluge alarm. So and then we have the accessories like water motors, retard, alarm pressure switches. But next we have a sprinkler. So we want to have a wet sprinkler. So here we have the dry sprinkler, and so you have this sprinkler upright, and you can have a dry, upright, and pendant. So we can have a pendant hosted, this one, and we need to look into it. What type of system classification does it have? So go to the systems, and here we have this in the mechanical. So here we have in the plumbing, in fact, you have the sprinkler and you have sprinkler. So if you look into it, it is the system classification is a wet. So now you can have the sprinklers place on the face. So you can have the sprinkler as per your design requirement. Now once you have the sprinklers, you can create the pipe system out of it. So I'm going to copy this particular sprinkler as per my requirement to the ceiling, and then see how the pipe systems can be created. Now let us see a 3D view. So if I can duplicate this 3D view and make it as a fire 3D view, duplicate it and make it as, rename it as 3D fire wet. So I can change the subdiscipline to fire wet, and here I go and look into the 3D view here, and if I look here, I can see that the sprinklers are upright. They can be shaded over here, and if I want to connect the pipes to it, so I can select all 3 sprinklers here, and let's say if I wanted to create a pipe system out of it, so it's a wet system, and it shows you can generate a layout out of it, and then you can create a pipe network out of it. So you can see here there is different pipe and network, and you can finish the layout and the pipe network is created between. So the pipe, if you go and see, similarly you can create a pipe network of the wet pipes here. Go to the pipe, and you have this particular system, generate layout and finish. So again, select it, and then you can have the pipe, and you can basically open OK and go to the settings. And now you can see that there are different layout can be done. Let's say you have got different parameters and different types of layout you can have. We have already learned in case of, and the settings, you can see the height is already mentioned over here, what type of pipes that we are having. Apart from that, if you want to create a pipe network in combination, you want to create a pipe network in combination of all the sprinklers here, so you can select them and go with the protection 4, and here we have, you can generate a layout out of it, and this is how you can create a pipe network. So this is a particular example for firefighting systems. You can see similarly you can do it for wet fire. Wet you have done, you can do it for dry and other fire protection system. Now go to the system browser. You can see here there is the unassigned one, and then in the pipe you have the fire protection, and there are different kind of systems that is done. Hope you have understood the concept of fire protection system. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share the videos. Thank you.